Good evening and welcome inside the GCU Soccer Stadium for tonight's home opener between the University of Texas El Paso Miners and the Grand Canyon University Lopes. I'm Kyle Borg alongside Jack O'Hara. And Jack, the Lopes come into this season with a bunch of new faces and a couple of key losses from their senior class last year, Mackenzie Cook and Abby Burton.
Yeah, Mackenzie Cook, a vital player for the last 4 years for Coach Leader, and Abby Burton, 103 saves last year behind the net. That's the most in WAC play, so a couple of key losses, but also a couple of key additions, a lot of brand new faces on this squad.
Absolutely. And the Lopes come off a road trip to Florida where they went 1-1.
A 1-0 win against Stetson on opening night, Kyle. Emma Anderson, the freshman, with the game-winning goal. A tough loss in Boca Raton against Florida Atlantic, 7-1, but they're ready to go here tonight.
And the Lopes looking to get back in the win column, and we'll see how they can do it with the Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game.
Well, Kyle, new season, new faces. 16 incoming freshmen. We mentioned Emma Anderson with the game-winning goal, so Coach Leader has a lot of room to work with this season. And also, they're going to try and get in the win column against UTEP. Have never won a game against UTEP. 0-3 lifetime with 2 losses on the road. Looking to get on the winning track tonight. And finally, they're not here yet, Kyle, but behind us, you'll see a bunch of fans in the crowd. They're called Havocs. Don't think that they're not going to try and get into the heads of UTEP tonight. They're going to be rolling here tonight.
Absolutely. The Havocs will be rocking, and so will the rest of GCU Soccer Stadium. Kickoff is right around the corner on opening night right here on GCU TV.
About time we watched it.
The sun is setting on this Thursday evening here in the heart of Phoenix at Grand Canyon University. We apologize for coming on a little late. The game is already underway between the 0-1-1 UTEP Miners and the 1-1 Grand Canyon University Lopes. I'm Kyle Borg alongside Jack O'Hara. And Jack, let's go ahead and take a look at our Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game and see how the Lopes can get a win here tonight.
Well, Kyle, new year, new faces, of course. A lot of new faces this season for the Lopes. 16 freshmen, including freshman Emma Anderson. We saw her score her first goal last Thursday night against Stetson on the road in the opener of the season. And then Lauren Garthwaite, who's in front of the goal here tonight as goalie, saved 7 shots and earned her first win of her career as well as her first shutout. So the freshman on this squad ready to make an impact right away and get in the win column for the Lopes. They're 0-3 lifetime against the Miners, with 2 of those losses coming on the road, 1 here at home. A different squad this season for the Lopes. They'll be looking to break that losing streak this season. And of course the Havocs right in front of us here, Kyle. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of them. Don't think for a second that they're not going to try and get inside the Miners' heads early on in this one. They're a rowdy bunch when they want to be, and they're going to be ready to go tonight.
And the majority of them right now down there behind the goal, looking to get in the head of the UTEP Miners goalkeeper Emily Parrott. And we'll go ahead and look at the rest of the Miners starters for this one. It is number 15, Danielle Carrion, number 18, Lauren Crenshaw, 14, Corey Lewis, number 12, Anna Jimerson, number 29, Nicole Pugsley, number 20, JoJo Gongo, number 5, Haley Vaughn. Number 66, Tessa Carlin, number 28, Emerson Kidd. As that one floated in the air towards the box, but headed away by the Miners defense. And finishing out the lineup is 28, Emerson Kidd, 39, Jackie Miller, and of course, like I mentioned, the goalkeeper, Emily Parrott, who so far on the season, she has taken a loss and a tie for the Miners. She's given up 4 goals total with 6 saves. And has a 2.77 goals against average in the majority of the minutes through the Miners' first 2 games. As that one trickles out of bounds or kept in by the Lopes there, and all the way back to the new goalkeeper, freshman Lauren Garthwaite, who had a spectacular opening night, as you mentioned, the shutout against Stetson in Florida. And for the rest of the Lopes starters, it is number 33, Haley Bostard, number 19, Hannah Edwards, number 9, Cameron Larson, number 29, Remy Deutsch, number 16, JC Iranshad, number 11, Andrea Martinez, the lone senior on the Lopes roster, number 14, Logan Van Dyne, number 3, Emma Anderson, 17, Raquel Hagar, and rounding it out, 26, Tyler Ferguson. As the Lopes kick that one out of bounds, and the Miners will get a throw-in right here on the near side, near midfield.
Well, Kyle mentioned Lauren Crenshaw in that starting lineup for the Miners. She's going to be one to watch out for tonight if you're the Lopes. August 31st of last year in El Paso, The Havocs dropped 2-1 to the Miners. Lauren Crenshaw with the game-winning goal in that one. So we'll see if she has any effect here in this one tonight.
Larson looking to have a go at that one from about 30 yards, but can't quite turn on it, and it trickles way out of bounds on the goal line for a goal kick in the first one of our game, as we are about 4 minutes into this one. As that one trickles all the way back to the Lopes defense, and they will look to set up yet another attack early on here in the first 5 minutes. That one goes out of bounds. Lopes keep possession on the near sideline, again near midfield. Lopes are wearing the gray home jerseys tonight, as the Miners wearing that road blue. And they gain possession quickly off that Lopes throw-in. And now a turnover there from Tyler Ferguson. She's looking to play a little bit long, get some offense going, but it goes out of bounds. And now the Miners will start up again, but it's taken away by the Lopes defense, and they look to counter. They're going to look to play Larson ahead, but a bit too far and into the hands of Emily Parrott, as she will let that one bounce off her chest down to her feet, and she'll play it out wide. Good defense on that far sideline from the Lopes. Looking to go in the middle to Larson again. Really targeting Larson in the middle early on, the Lopes are. She already has 1 goal on the season. She scored in that 7-1 loss down against Florida Atlantic on Sunday.
And Kyle, we got a chance to talk to Coach Leader before the game about Lauren Garthwaite. You mentioned the shutout against Stetson last Thursday night. A tough go-around in Boca Raton against Florida Atlantic. Again, their first start here in front of Lope Country, the Havoc faithful. We'll see how she does here tonight.
Hasn't faced a shot yet. Neither team really got one away just yet. There's been 1 foul so far, and that was, or there's been 2 fouls, 1 on the Lopes and 1 on the Miners. And now the Miners have a throw-in once more. Larson applies a little bit of pressure, and that one will trickle all the way back. And now near midfield, here come the Miners once again. This looks to be their most promising attack in the early going, but headed away by the Lopes defense. Lopes maintain possession, will play out wide, and now a little overlap run there, and they're going to go back to Larson, but can't quite get it to her, and now she'll gain possession as it's headed back to her in the middle. Good job from Cameron Larson as it's poked away, and she's muscled off the ball a little bit, calling for it again, but the Lopes are going to play with it in the back, try to get a little bit more possession. So that one went out of bounds. Lopes maintain possession as they inch closer and closer to the goal, and now played in the middle. Larson not there yet, and it's played back up top to the Miners, but now poked away by the Lopes defense, and a little bit of a hold and a foul. And now the Lopes will have a promising free kick from roughly 37 yards away from goal here. So this is really the first attack here for the Lopes, as Larson trying to jostle for position, and the referee's going to have a word with the Lopes captain and number 5 of the Miners. That's Haley Vaughn trying to play defense on Larson, and Larson still trying to get away and can't. That one's driven right into the wall, but the Lopes keep it, and now it's booted away and cleared out of danger, and now it's 1-on-4 for the Miners, and the Lopes do a good job to get the ball back.
A great defense early on both sides of the ball early on in this one.
Miners looking to gain possession, and they do. They'll play it all the way back to their defense, and now they will start a counter attack. Nobody making a run long on that one for the Miners, as it'll go back again to the Lopes. No run, just played right to nobody really, as the Miners pick it up again. Good fight on the defensive side of the ball for both sides, especially the Lopes there. That one's played back to Garthwaite, and she'll have to boot that one away and out of bounds. It's a dangerous play from the Lopes, and the Miners almost got lucky.
Yeah, the first real test for Lauren Garthwaite in this one was able to get to the ball first and get it out of harm's way. We'll see if the Lopes can capitalize here and get it on the other side of the field.
Now it's picked up, played in the middle. Looking to step on a run and runs right into the brick wall that is the Lopes defense. And now the Miners on the far side looking to keep their attack going. And that one will go out of bounds for goal kick for the first one of the game for the Lopes and Lauren Garthwaite. That one booted ahead to Larson. She gets onto it, takes a big touch, and it's right into the hands of Emily Parrott. And that was really the first promising attack there for the Lopes and Cameron Larson.
A real tough break there for Larson. Just couldn't get a good handle on it. An easy pickup there for Emily Parrott. The first real threat for Parrott in this game so far. Only one threat on each side.
Absolutely, and both goalkeepers have stood tall so far through the first 10.5 as that one's played long and over the top, but played out of bounds by the Lopes and Hannah Edwards. And now the offside flag goes up and the Lopes will get a free kick. So that'll be Garthwaite to take that one. Played into the middle and headed away for the Miners, and now looking to make a turn and cannot as the Lopes gain possession outside, now booted back into the middle and kept in for Iranshad to Larson now, who takes a big touch off the Miners defense, and the Miners regain possession. Now the Lopes will get it back in the middle of the field now. That one played for Martinez on the near side, but booted back into the middle, and the Lopes keep it in their half of the field once more for Martinez now. So that's Larson in the middle, my fault. That was Iranshad on the ball. And now booted ahead, and the Miners look to get a counterattack going. But great defense from the Lopes there. As that was, guess who, Hannah Edwards once again. And now a throw in, looking to go long into the middle, but played right to the three Lopes defenders. But now the Miners keep it back. And we got a good fight on the near sideline, but it'll be kicked out of bounds for the Miners once more.
Well, we talked about great defense early on. Great defense has kept up so far here in the first half for both the Lopes and the Miners. Either team not really being able to separate themselves from one another just yet, as looks like the Miners are in possession.
Miners now playing with it on the far sideline, and Lopes applying pressure, looking to win it back. But the Miners strong on the ball that time, played off of a Lopes defender out of bounds on the far side, and they will get yet another throw in. Played over the top, looking to run it down the Miners to keep it in bounds. And right into the middle and past Garthwaite, and the Miners are going to get on the board first here in the 13th minute. As the score is now 1-0 for the University of Texas, El Paso.
Well, a great eye there for the Miners. Perfectly set up and a perfect angle there for the Miners to get it right past Lauren Garthwaite. That's going to be her 5th allowed goal of the season in just 3 games. And Lopes down early in this one, looking to get right back in it. The
goal scorer, number 20, JoJo Gongo. she'll get her first goal on the season in the 4th total for the Miners thus far, just now 3 games into the season. So Lopes are going to have to play from behind for the rest of this one, looking to even it up. So now the Miners got a little bit of life in them, but that one's going to stay in bounds on the near side, as that'll be picked up and played into the middle, but to nobody quite there for the Lopes. And now the Miners will boot it ahead right into the middle of that defense. It's Hannah Edwards in the middle. She's been a stone wall so far for the Lopes early on in this one.
Definitely a veteran on the defensive side, Kyle. Really sticking up to that reputation right here, right now.
And that one is going to be a miscue, and now the Lopes have a chance, and it's batted down by Emily Parrott, and she's going to keep this one a 1-0 lead for the Miners, as it looked like the defense tried to play it back to her and didn't see Larson sprinting in from the middle, and then Larson turned and took a shot, but it was right into the hands of Parrott. That was perhaps the best chance the Lopes have had in the first 15 minutes.
But you got to remember, Kyle, only 15 minutes into this one. Still a lot of time left.
Lopes looking to go again. Played in the middle, but Iranshad is there off the deflection. And now it's Larson in the middle. And the Miners will regain possession and will start an attack, but defense there sliding in and off of the Miners there. And the Lopes gain possession on the near side. Played long, Larson trying to run it down, and now played back into the middle of the Miners defense. And Cameron Larson, the junior, or one of the 8 juniors that the Lopes have on this roster, she really came into her own last season, leading the team in goals scored.
And one of the few bright spots on Friday against Florida Atlantic in that 7-1 loss, picking up her first goal of the season as well.
Absolutely. And they'll look to try and get her on the board again. She's got that tall frame in the middle of that attack for the Lopes, so they definitely try and find her on crosses, trying to get a couple of headers to her as she steals the ball there, and now she'll start an attack. She's a little bit by herself, and it's 1-on-3. Here's Larson, takes a shot, and it'll be knocked away by the Miners defense and out of bounds. Lopes will get a throw and keep possession down by the 18-yard box, and they'll play it right back. That one crossed in, looking for Larson again as she goes down, but gets right back up. And now out of bounds. Miners will get a throw in on that far sideline. And poked away by the Lopes once again. Had a lot of throw-ins due to good defense on those sidelines, really stopping those attacks, and both sides really still kind of feeling each other out despite the Miners being up 1-0.
And both defensive have been spectacular thus far. Kyle, the Lopes unable to come away with that game-tying goal just yet. The Miners coming away with one quick as Lauren Garthwaite with the quick snag there. First save of the game.
Good to get the first one out of the way for Garthwaite, as that one was played right into her hands, as that one looked to be the same attack as the one that the Miners scored on. And she's going to punt that one down and off the head of the near side defender for the Miners. And the Lopes will get a throw-in. And now that one played long. Lopes deflected it back to the Miners, and now Crenshaw on the ball, and she will play it up. Looking for a return pass, but didn't get it from Tessa Carlin as she plays it back into the middle. And now the Miners are going to switch fields and swing it all the way to the far side. on the Lopes half the field. Now play it up. But defense strong as the pass in the middle to Hannah Nichols, and now back out wide to Hagar. And she's going to start the attack now for the Lopes. In the middle, but played a little bit behind from Larson, and now looking for Martinez. She takes a touch but can't get around the defender. And now Crenshaw has to play it out wide, and Martinez still all over her. And now Martinez will give a little bit of a shove, and the assistant referee puts his flag up for a foul, and the Miners are going to get a break on that one.
And Andrea had a wide open hole there for a goal potentially, but got away from her just a bit as it rolled out of bounds.
So now the Miners will start it out of the back. So that one played long, but right to the Lopes, and now the Lopes will turn it back over, but the Miners turn it again back over to the Lopes. So we've had a lot of back and forth play as that one back to the Miners. And that one now booted long and appears to be going out of bounds, and it does into the Lopes bench. Now the Lopes will start their own attack with a long ball to Larson, who took a little push in the back, no call. And back over to the Miners, headed back off the chest of Haley Bostard, and will play it back to the middle. And now the Lopes on the ball, but a bad touch and a bad pass as they will turn it right back over.
And the Lopes really not catching any breaks so far here in the first half. The Miners defense just playing them to a T early on in this one.
Looking to step in front of that one is the Lopes defense. They do get a deflection off of it, and it'll go out of bounds for a Miners throw once again. That one thrown right to the Lopes, and now a touch from the middle of the field. And nobody was there as Larson was still jogging to get back into position off the Iran Shad pass. And now the Miners will start it from the back. That one looking to play it out wide, but can't. So it goes out of bounds, and now the Lopes will make their first substitution of the game, as that'll be number 4, Rayanne Jones, checking in for the Lopes. And Remy Deutsch is going to check out as Logan Van Dyne will take the throw in on this near side. And now Jones gets back on the ball early, and now looking to play Larson. He'll go over her head, and she'll run it down in the box, but headed away. And she will regain possession, looking to make a turn and start something for the Lopes. That one played in the middle, looking for Rayanne Jones, but mishit and right into the hands of Emily Parrott. Rayanne Jones has played 73 minutes on this young season so far. She's made an appearance in both of the Lopes games, and she will look to make a difference in early on in this game as the Lopes regain it from the back. She does have 3 shots on the season, with one of them being on goal, so she does get a couple of shots away, and they'll definitely need that from her here as she's on the ball now. Rayanne Jones takes a touch, runs it down in the corner. Looking for numbers in the box. Jones will cross it in on the ground, and it'll take a deflection and a weird hop coming back on the spin as it looked like it was going out of bounds. And now the Lopes have it in the middle, and a shot taken but blocked by the Miners. And now that one played well out of bounds. And the Lopes will regain possession as Gongo couldn't quite do anything with it, and now they were looking to get the throw in to Jones but could not reach her. And now the Miners have a little bit of pressure on in the back as that one off of the Lopes and Haley Bostard, and that one will go out of bounds to the Miners.
And another great defensive sequence there from UTEP there. It seems like every time the Lopes get close to scoring, they're right there for the counter, as They're in possession yet again, trying to take a 2-0 lead.
Now looking to get that one to switch fields, but cannot, and now Lopes looking to go quick. Long throw into Jones as she's getting held that time, and the whistle and a foul, and a card looks to be coming out of the referee's pocket. It will be a yellow card. Believe that is going to go to
She's got our center back wrapped too. Yeah. But second one, because she's spinning her, holding her like this, right? This is probably but then we get a foul versus when hers is first. Hers is first, and then on the field.
We'll go to Nicole Pugsley of the Miners. So the first yellow card of the game here in the 23rd minute. And the Lopes will get another free kick from a threatening position here on the field as they look to equalize right here on this attack. They're going to cross it in. Looking for Larson, got ahead to it, but not strong enough. And the Miners will clear it out once again.
The referee has issued a caution. UTEP number 28, Emerson Kidd.
Well, it just seems to be the name of the game here early on. Larson didn't really get good contact on that ball. Had a nice segue there to the goal, just couldn't get great contact. And once again, it looks like the Miners are halting any Lopes momentum early on.
Now the Miners will start their next counterattack. And that one will go out of bounds. Lopes are going to get a throw in. Now the referee having to talk to a couple of the players down there on that far side before this Lopes throw in. Played in the middle. Now the Lopes will switch fields and look to get an attack going. And they're about ready to make about 3 substitutions on the next dead ball when the referee will allow it. And now a shot from distance, and it goes right into the hands of Emily Parrott, who gobbles that one up. And the score remains 1-0 Miners.
Well, the Lopes have had their fair share of attempts early on in this one, Kyle. Emily Parrott just eating anything up that they kick her way.
Now over the top into the middle, looking for Rayanne Jones, who got held. It looked like her arm got tugged on a little bit, but no call as the Miners wanted a foul on Jones. It looked like little complaints from the bench. But the referee, no whistle, as Parrott will start the attack from the back as she will roll it out. Looking for Crenshaw here on that far side and cannot get it to her as the Lopes will regain possession and almost turning it over as that goes off of a Miners defender, and the Lopes will make substitutions. It looks like number 20, Ellie Busick's going in for the Lopes. And the substitutions for the Lopes were Busick, Wong, and Sydney Torres. They make as their all the way up to 4 substitutions now for the Lopes here in the first 26 minutes. That one's played over the top and cleared out of bounds by the Lopes. And the Miners will get a throw-in. Played into the middle to Gongo, and she trips over the ball but retains possession and will play it right back out wide, but the Lopes right there to knock it away, and now it's headed up in the middle And into traffic and over the top of the goal, and we'll have a goal kick.
Well, it's vital for the Lopes defense to stop UTEP right here at 1-0. If they go down 2-0, you've seen what UTEP's defense has been able to do to the Lopes offense thus far. Though it is only the first half in this game in Phoenix, the Lopes do not want to fall behind down by 2.
Garthright will clear that one away, and now the Lopes looking to keep it in bounds, and they do. Good hustle. But now a turnover, and the Lopes will get it back, and now they can settle down and look to start their own attack as that one's played up for Rayanne Jones. Jones trying to run it down, but that speed of the Miners defense is there. But it is kicked out of bounds for a corner, so the Lopes are going to have a scoring opportunity right here.
Well, this could potentially be the biggest threat for Emily Parrott all night long. A golden opportunity here for the Lopes to even things up. We'll see if this changes momentum. As again, the Lopes with a golden opportunity right here.
Referee having a word with the players in front of the goal before this kick by Emma Anderson. She'll send it in. Looking up top, and it's headed over top of the goal, and we will have a goal kick. Lopes protesting, wanting another corner. They won't get it as the referee comes in and signals for a goal kick. And now the Miners looking to make 2 substitutions. As it looks like they'll get in on the next dead ball that we get.
29.
One played long into the middle, and the Miners right there to get it, but stolen away from or by the Lopes. And now they're going to look to start their own attack as they play it into the middle. Looking to try and thread the needle on that one was Anderson, but can't quite get it. And now a double team looking to win the ball back, but they can as the Miners play it right back and out of pressure. And they will reset on to this near sideline. Now Ellie Busick back on the ball looking to chip her defender, and that time she gets it done. But now we'll turn it right back over. And this is popped up in a 50-50 ball over the head and headed away now by Edwards, and now kept in by Busick again, but the Miners will retain possession and will play it all the way back. Crenshaw, strong header on that one, but right to Edwards as she heads it out to Ellie Busick, who will pop it up in the middle, and it's over the head of her target. And now the Miners will start once again. Miners reset it in the back, and they will switch the entire field and go all the way wide and back into the middle now. Looking to play it over the top, and a little bit of a delayed run and a bad touch from the Lopes, but they recover and able to keep it in bounds and restart it now. And sliding challenge there will win it for the Miners as it does go out of bounds, but the Miners will get the ball, and now the substitutions will be made. Or it was a foul rather, excuse me, and now the substitutions will stay where they are at midfield until the next dead ball.
Well, you got to think both offenses are extremely frustrated at the moment, but you got to think with UTEP with that early goal early on, they're feeling just a little bit more comfortable than the Lopes.
And now the goal scorer, Gongo, is on the ball in the corner, looking to get it around her defender. She cannot, and now Crenshaw applies pressure with a couple of bumps there, but nothing there. It looks like Coach Leader wanted a foul, but he won't get it, as now it'll be substitutions this time. for the Miners. It'll be number 2, Cam Fisher, and number 9, Mo Sayas. Looking to take a big throw in once again are the Miners, but good strong defense from the Lopes, as now they will apply pressure and try and force the Miners back, as they are doing that successfully here early. Good challenge from the Lopes as they win the ball, and now will look to start their attack. And with speed down that far side, here comes the Lopes, played into the middle and well behind Rayanne Jones, but she wins it right back. And we'll try and find Jones again, and now headed around by the Miners, and they will settle things down and regain possession on the far side. That one went off a Lopes defender and out of bounds. And now another substitution for the Miners. So that will be Vanessa Caballo, number 11 for the Miners.
Now entering the game for UTEP, number 11, Vanessa Cabello. She replaces number 5, Haley Baum.
And now after the substitutions, the throw-in for the Miners will restart play, as that one will go right out of bounds, and the Miners are going to do it again on the far side. Played all the way back to Parrott, and she will start from the back now, as the Miners will look to add on to their lead before the half, but the Lopes force a turnover, and now looking to stay with it, and she does in the middle of the field. Good job from the Lopes. She comes away with it and will now play it back to start possession. But now a turnover, and the Miners have some numbers coming down that near side, and now that is now the fresh substitute coming on with the ball as she shoves her off, but we're going to get a foul before the foul from the Miners. So a foul on the Lopes before, and the referee will bring the ball back and settle things down.
At some point, you're going to have to call it, or they're going to keep doing it every time. I said, what? Well, then come over. Come over.
Now one of and now the Miners will play it long into the box, and it bounces down and around, and the Lopes will get a deflection, but it'll go off of a Miners attacker, and Garthwaite will get the ball and have it for a goal kick with about 10 minutes to go now in the first half. Lopes still down 1-0 thanks to that early goal in the 13th minute from JoJo Gongo of the Miners. Garthwaite sends it away, and the Miners will regain possession at midfield. Lopes get it back this time, played out wide, and now back into the middle, looking to get the run on for Larson. She gets a touch and a foul. No foul called from the referee. Larson's upset about it. The Lopes bench doesn't understand why, as Coach Leader looking for an explanation from the fourth official at midfield, and now the Miners will come back, but they will turn it over. And now it looks like the Lopes coaching staff is going to go and try and get an explanation from the official.
Well, the Miners may have gotten away with one there. Obviously, Larson was very upset on the play. But once again, the Miners halting any sort of momentum that the Lopes could possibly have in this first half, and pending any late offensive surge, this first half has been all about UTEP's defense.
Now the Lopes will play that one out wide. The Lopes get it back this time, and now dribbling through a couple of UTEP defenders, looking to play to this near side, looking to run it down is Jones. She cannot, and it's off of, and the referee will say it is off of her, and the Miners will get another throw. And now substitution for the Miners.
Now entering the game for UTEP, number 20, Crenshaw.
So Harvey's going to check in for Crenshaw, and she'll take the throw, and now it'll go right back to her. And Harvey will start the attack for the Miners, but turns it over, and now the Lopes can't quite squeeze that pass through. And now they find an attack coming down the near side. Ball played into the middle, but behind Cameron Larson. And now Lopes looking to get it back, but it bounces around, and the Miners able to clear. But the Lopes get it right back off of a failed clearance attempt, and now right into the hands of the Miners. Now a chance to reset for the Lopes. Played to Jones on the far side. It'll get slide tackled away, but out of bounds for a corner. And now the second corner kick of the game, both of them for the Lopes. And now another scoring threat here, possibly to even it up before the half. And a late goal in the first half for the Lopes would do wonders for team confidence going into the second half.
Well, you got to think if you're coach leader here, another golden opportunity for the Lopes. You got to take your opportunities when you can get them. We'll see if they can come through here with just 5 minutes left in the first half.
Anderson will serve it up again. Into the middle, punched away by Parrott, but still not out of danger yet. That time it's cleared away, but right to the Lopes, and now they get a chance to start a secondary ball, but it is served up a little too long for Larson, as she had to hustle to get back on sides before that ball could be played in. This will be Harvey with the ball on the near side, and she will look to keep possession and maybe get another chance for the Miners. But it'll be turned right over to Rayanne Jones. And Jones dribbles right into a Miners defender, but it's poked right back to the Lopes, and now a shot from distance right into the hands of Emily Parrott. And she stands tall once again, as the shot from Sydney Torres was looking to go probably a little bit wide, but Parrott going to get hands on it just to be safe.
And not too difficult there for Emily Parrott, those last two saves. And it's been the story of the first half, Kyle. The Miners defense has been able to shut down this Lopes offense.
Now the Miners will give it right back to the Lopes, and a quality spot to start an attack. And a big throw to Rayanne Jones, who can't quite corral it, but played right out of bounds. Lopes get it back with 5 minutes to play here in the first half at GCU Soccer Stadium. And a good turn, but that ball will get out of bounds off of the Lopes, and they will turn it right back over to the Miners. Now Anderson applying some pressure will get it forced back deep onto the Miners' side, but Jones had a 2-on-1, and it was just her playing a little bit of defense on two people, so she wasn't able to get it right back. But now the Lopes do, as they will now reset it back to their defense. Just looking to play a long ball. In the back was the Lopes, but unable to do so, as good defense once again from the Miners. Even on the offensive side of their field, they have been able to apply some good pressure. And now Jones gets a nice touch over the top, but Miners once again right there. Into the middle now, taken out wide is the Miners. Cut back into the middle of the field, looking for someone to pass to, has nobody. And now the Lopes will get it, but turn it right back over. And now prime position, looking to play through the middle, were the Miners on a through ball, but Garth Waite is right there. Once again, she will scoop it up, as we are down to now 2.5 minutes of play in the first half, and a line drive punt right to midfield and the Miners.
And worst case scenario here for the Lopes, you go into the half with a 1-0 deficit. You do not want to go down by 2 here to UTEP with how well their defense has been playing in the first half.
Absolutely. In their last game in Boca Raton against Florida Atlantic, they were down 1-0 at the half. So they've been in this position before, early on in this young season. Jostling for it in the middle of the field. Both sides doing a good job, and now played out wide but regained by the Miners at midfield. And now the Lopes have it as that's Larson out wide with it. Pressure coming on from behind, and she'll play it long into the corner, looking to run it down. Will she get there? No, she won't. And a goal kick for the Miners. She was trying to play Ellie Busick, cutting in from this near side to the far side. As Parrott will get ready to restart us here with a goal kick. When played long and good defense from the Lopes again, and a bad touch will turn it right back over to the Miners. And now a bad touch from the Miners gets it right back to the Lopes, and that one's played through. Rayanne Jones has a shot right off of Parrott. Great save. And it's deflected wide. Emily Parrott was backing up to her goal line when that shot from Rayanne Jones came off. And she made another save. That is her third on the night.
Well, the Lopes trying to even things up right before the end of the half here. Probably Emily Parrott's toughest threat yet, right in your face. Able to block that one down for the save.
As now the Miners have it in the middle of the field. Lopes take a big throw in as the seconds are ticking away here in the first half. We are down to 12 seconds remaining as the Lopes still trying to get the ball, as it will now be cleared away from the Miners. And that one will trickle out of bounds. And that is how we end the first half of play. It is the visiting University of Texas El Paso Miners 1 and the Grand Canyon University Lopes 0. But a decent first half from both sides, Jack, as a lot of feeling each other out early on, and then in the 13th minute came that goal from UTEP.
Well, defense, defense, defense. I think it's safe to say, Kyle, that defense has been the story so far in this one. Emily Parrott doing a phenomenal job blocking each one of the Lopes attempts early on in this one. The quick goal, like you mentioned, from the Miners. And the Miners are as frustrated as the Lopes offensively at the moment, but they do have breathing room up 1-0 in this game. The Lopes are going to have to dig themselves out of a hole in the second half and come up with a new game plan.
Absolutely, and they'll have about 15 or so minutes to do so, and Coach Leader will have his squad well prepared for the second half. And you got to talk about the chances that the Lopes have had early on. They had a couple early and a couple more late. Good chances from both sides. UTEP the only team able to capitalize on it, and we stand 1-0 UTEP Miners over the Grand Canyon University Lopes here on opening night, and we will be right back right here on GCU TV.
Hey, welcome to GCU. You're in Lope country now.
What's that sound?
We bring the thunder in the heart of Phoenix.
All right, time to go. Beam me up, Scotty.
I'm getting my master's in education online. I can't slow down time, but I do make my own schedule. Good thing too, since I'm a mom, wife, student, and teacher. The rest of my time, I make sure this house keeps rolling.
Here at the Lopes Lab, when we're not contemplating the paradoxes of time travel, hey Mort, greetings. We're working on technology that will save lives. And robots.
We're being hacked!
Time to get to work. I'm defending against malware and hacker attacks. We need people who can outsmart the enemy. Oh, I got you now. And?
Here at GCU, we teach you to harness your passion, transform it into a career so you can help change the world.
It's good to know. My passion isn't just in the classroom. It's also on the court. Game point. No pressure.
Pressure! Let me tell you about pressure. When it's life or death, that's when the pressure is really on.
Doctor, he's going into VFib. Nurse, get the crash cart. Clear!
It takes grit and determination to lead a Division I team.
Push it! Push it!
But for some of us, it just comes naturally.
Yeah!
When it comes to school spirit, we do it best. Lopes up.
Hopes up.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
GCU helps you stay focused on staying purpose-driven. They give you the tools to find what your purpose truly is. Once I got out here, I kind of had an identity crisis. Walking around campus, I saw a flyer for something called Java Jams. When I first walked onto that stage, my heart was pounding, but I was able to find myself as an artist. My name is Joseph, and I earned my Bachelor's of Arts degree at GCU.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome back here at halftime at the GCU Soccer Stadium, where the UTEP Miners lead the Grand Canyon Lopes 1-0 here on opening night. And we are going to take a quick look at our GCU halftime highlights. And the first highlight we have is that goal from the Miners, as that one took a deflection right to Gongo, and she puts it right in the back of the net. Now here's a chance from Larson off the miscue, but saved by Parrott.
And again, we mentioned Emily Parrott with a tremendous first half. Another tough break here for the Lopes. Had 2 golden opportunities with 2 corner kicks there, unable to come through to tie up the ball game. And a tough break right there for Larson. Did not come away with the foul on the play. And again, another corner kick here, as the Lopes just could not get a good handle on things there. A tough break there. And here's the final kick. Another great block right in your face, Emily Parrott. Again, another phenomenal first half from the Miners goalie.
Absolutely, and as the Miners goalie, Emily Parrott, had 4 saves in that first half. As the Lopes are down 1-0, as they will look to get it going in the second half. And of course, earlier on this week, our cameras caught up with Coach Derek Leader to talk to him about the upcoming season.
I think already in a day we've seen a lot of great leadership from Cam Larson, Michaela McGee, and Hannah Edwards. It was very tough to replace Mackenzie Cook. She was a special player, and we'll definitely miss her, but we've picked up 14 new players. We've got a lot of new players coming back from surgeries, so we're excited. This is the biggest roster we've ever had. We only have 1 senior. We're loaded with a junior class that's exceptionally talented, and again, we brought in 14 new players, 10 of which are freshmen, 4 transfers. We don't have a number 1 leading into the year. The goalkeeping position is up in the air. We've got 4 players vying for that spot. We've got a wonderful staff. They've been exceptional as far as dealing with the players and all the situations that have come up in the past with all the injuries. And we've talked about a new style, we've talked about a new structure that we're going to play, and everybody's on board and willing to work. I expect this season to be fantastic. I think we've got a great squad. Everybody's eager, willing to learn, willing to do their part. The chemistry is fantastic, so can't wait. We start off in Florida. We're going to deal with the humidity, but it's a great chance for us to get started. We've got a lot of great home games. We've got more home games than ever. We've got more night games than ever, and really it's all about the WAC.
As the coach leader there, very excited for this upcoming season, excited for his 16 freshman class this year, 16-player freshman class, and the freshmen have made a huge impact early on in the season as Emma Anderson got that game-winning goal down in Florida on opening night for the Lopes.
And don't forget about Lauren Hathaway with the 7 saves in that 1-0 victory. Picked up her first win and her first shutout. Coach Leader's got a lot of room to work with. Again, 16 new freshmen on this squad.
That is a big freshman class, and he's going to be happy with for the next 4 years. And of course, so far the Lopes have had a lot of chances to score a goal in the first half. Unable to do so because of Emily Parrott in the defense, but Cameron Larson and the Lopes have had a good offensive attack going so far.
And Larson, a couple of tough breaks early on with a couple of non-foul calls. You mentioned the Miners' defense. It's been phenomenal in this one. Their offense got lucky with that one shot that was deflective off the Lopes' defense. Other than that, both offensives have both struggled. We'll see how they come out in the second half.
Well, we'll hope the Lopes come out firing and will be able to find a goal. As now we have the upcoming schedule for you, brought to you by BSN Sports.
We'll come back tomorrow night here at GCU Soccer Stadium, excuse me. Men's soccer takes on Northern Kentucky in their home opener, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And the women's soccer team back here on Sunday as they play at home, 7 p.m. to face the University of Texas San Antonio.
And the women that will be their second game of a 4-game homestand. That'll be the middle cut as the men open up their season tomorrow, and that will be a good one. We'll be on the call again for that one. And we're going to send it to one more quick break before we get ready to start the second half. It is 1-0 the visiting University of Texas El Paso Miners over the Grand Canyon University Lopes.
About time we watched it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. I mean, we want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Wait, let's actually do it right. Hi guys, what's up? Have you guys ever heard of Ask GCU?
I have heard of it.
I have before, yeah.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
Why I should go to GCU.
Probably the best food place.
You know, we all love food. Yeah. So probably that episode.
What's the best way to drink a stampede?
Go-karts. What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
All of them.
Thank you.
My favorite episode is probably where they asked about the Chick-fil-A line.
The breakfast one's pretty good.
The one where you guys talk about the best places to have breakfast on campus and everyone said Chick-fil-A.
That's the best breakfast I've ever had.
The Welcome Week episode.
The Welcome Week one, that one's really clutch.
The Welcome Week, where Brittany jumps around into people's cars and asks them questions. Remember, kids, don't get into people's vehicles.
I just really like you guys.
I just like it when you're in it.
You too.
Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes!
Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome back inside the GCU Soccer Stadium at halftime of the women's soccer home opener between the University of Texas El Paso Miners and the Grand Canyon University Lopes. If you're just joining us, it is 1-0 Miners over the Lopes. I'm Kyle Borg alongside Jack O'Hara. And Jack, the Lopes, we talked about it earlier on when we came on and in the pregame about our Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game. So how can they incorporate those into their second half game plan?
Well, we talked about it on the pregame. New year, new faces for the Lopes. We talked about the 16 freshmen. Coach Leader has been able to utilize some of these new faces in his lineup in this one. Hasn't really worked out in his favor thus far. This team, like you mentioned, is still trying to get a feel for each other, trying to find that chemistry early on in the season. Just 1-1, third game overall in the season. It is the home opener, so a lot of soccer to be played yet this season. We'll see if they can come out strong here in the second half. And we mentioned getting on the win column. GCU has not been able to figure out the Miners thus far. Lifetime, 0-3 lifetime, trying to avoid their fourth loss here. And on the other side, UTEP looking for their first win of the season as well. They're 0-1, coming off a tie in their last game. And the Havocs have not been able to get off their feet so far in this one. Not much offense. We'll see if the Lopes offense can get the Havocs involved in the second half.
Absolutely, as the Havocs could play a big role as a majority of them are going to sit behind the goal and try and get inside Emily Parrott's head here in the second half. We're about 2 minutes away from the start of half number 2. Lopes, of course, like we mentioned, down 1-0. And like you said, Jack, Lopes 0-3 all time so far against the Miners in Division I, in the Division I era here for Grand Canyon. Last season they went to El Paso and lost that one.
And nearly a year ago today, Kyle, August 31st, so a few days off the mark, 2 days off the mark. It is August 29th today. August 31st of last year in El Paso, a 2-1 loss. We mentioned earlier Lauren Crenshaw with a goal and 2 assists in that game to lead the charge for the Miners. Only 1 steal so far here tonight for Lauren Crenshaw, so the Lopes able to halt Lauren Crenshaw's offense. Jojo Gongo, we mentioned the 1 goal so far here tonight, deflected off a defender for the Lopes and past Lauren Garthway for the goal. 5th goal allowed by Lauren Garthway so far in 3 games. We mentioned the shutout against Stetson and then 4 goals allowed against Florida Atlantic and Boca Raton.
And of course, a key thing that we have yet to mention for the Lopes tonight is they're playing without junior defenseman slash midfielder number 8 Michaela McGee, as she did pick up a red card and is suspended for tonight's match, but they will have her for Sunday against San Antonio, and she is definitely a big key to the Lopes midfield attack and defensive side of the ball. So really Hannah Edwards is back there anchoring a defense that is a lot of freshmen alongside Remy Deutsch, who has also played a good key. She's got the speed that they've played a little bit so far with down that far side. And they're going to definitely look to try and target Cameron Larson a little bit more. She's had 3 shots, 1 of them on goal so far. And that 1 on goal, of course, was saved that we saw earlier on as the clock hits 0. And looks like the referees are already standing in midfield. And we are about to get underway for half number 2 here on opening night for GCU women's soccer. So as the Lopes break the huddle, they will switch sides of the field, looking to get back on the board. They have 45 minutes to tie this one up, or to win it. 2 to win, 1 to tie. For the Lopes, looking to beat that strong Miners defense that just seems to be everywhere all at once.
And we've been talking about the defense for the entire first half. You got to remember, it's just a 1-0 game. 1 good break here for the Lopes gets them right back in this thing. We'll see if they can get rolling here in the second half.
Now the Miners bow ready to break their huddle as there they go. Get ready to take their positions. They will start with the ball here in the second half, as the Lopes did kick off with it first to start us off here in the game. As now everybody is in their positions. The referee gets ready. He starts his clock. He blows the whistle. And we are underway here in half number 2. That one played out of bounds, and it will go to the Lopes. Now the Lopes have it on their defensive side of the field, looking to start something up this near sideline as they will get it into the middle, and they will make a turn. Way to stay on the ball that time from the Lopes as they will play it out wide to the far side to Logan Van Dyne, who will cross it into the middle as it takes a hop in front of Martinez, as now she will look to win it back, and it looks like she got kicked in the face. She did. A referee immediately calling on the trainers because it is a head injury concern as Martinez took a high kick to the face. Martinez looking to try and walk it off as the trainers run onto the field. So we'll take another look at it here as, yep, got the boot right to the nose, or the mouth nose area. That one a high kick from Lauren Crenshaw. So Martinez being tended to by the training staff. She'll have to step off till the referee can call her back on, as trainer will hustle off to get off the field so Martinez and the game can restart and Martinez can get back on.
And not much reaction time there for Martinez either.
And it will be a restart on the throw in from the Miners. So Lopes will regain possession and Van Dyne will play it up ahead, trying to target Larson, and now Lopes looking to get on the far side. No foul there as they hit the dirt, and now a 2-on-1 as the Lopes get it on the defensive end and almost turned it over, and almost a break for the Miners. Now they'll get it right back at midfield. Now settle down on this near side, and the Lopes can start an attack, but can't quite squeeze that pass through, as it will get back to the Miners' defensive side, and they will try and start their next attack. Now a good double team from the Lopes, but it trickles out to a Miners attacker, and now all the way back, and almost a mistouch, and almost a break there for the Lopes. Martinez wins that one there. Good job from her to read that play and get the ball back, but now it's turned over, and now we will have a whistle and a foul on the Lopes as the Miners will get a free kick, as that is going to be the 4th foul on the Lopes in this one.
Well, this is now what you want for, if you're the Lopes defense right here. Again, down 1-0 in this game. Have not been able to figure out UTEP's defense thus far through the first 47 minutes in this one. You don't want to see the Miners come away with another goal here, as looks like the Lopes are safe from a 2-0 deficit.
They look to lob that one into the middle of the box, and they did it successfully. Just nobody home for the Miners as it takes a big bounce and trickles out wide, as Garthwaite was right there, however. She'll now get a goal. Larson gets a touch, it comes out wide. Looking to stay on it are the Lopes. It gets over the head, and now a bump and no call, and the Lopes bench not happy with that one as it gets down into the corner and back to the Lopes, but can't quite corral that one as it gets out of bounds for a Miners throw-in. Right to the Lopes in the middle of the field, but can't quite get that pass through either, as now the Miners will look to counter. They got some speed coming down the middle of the field now, looking for Gongo, that already has a goal here tonight, as they can't get that one through. Now the Lopes will counter, looking for Larson, but stepped in front of. And now the Miners have the ball once again, as it looks like the Miners have had most of the possession so far here through the first 4 minutes of the second half. And now foul on the Lopes and JC Iranchad. Now a quick free kick taken to this near sideline, and now they will cross it into the box. As the Lopes look to clear it out, and they do, but out of bounds to that far side, as they will get a chance to set up their defense this time. That one will be crossed in, but right to the Lopes defense, as they will this time be able to clear it long right to Cameron Larson, who gets it out wide, but a little bit of miscommunication as the Miners will win it right back. And a foul on the Lopes once again, this time in the middle of the field. As the referee will set the ball and get ready to play. Just a little two-man wall from the Lopes this time. Just looking to be in the way, as the wall from this distance doesn't normally affect anything. And now Miners pushing it back in, and it's headed away by the Lopes and out wide, but not out of danger yet as the Miners still on the ball. That one poked away, and now the Miners will get their first corner. And another scoring opportunity for the Miners as they look to take it quick, but the Lopes do a good job of not allowing that to happen. So now taking the kick from that far corner will be number 39, Jackie Miller, for the Miners.
A very dangerous situation if you're the Lopes defense right here. Lauren Garthwaite better be ready on this one.
They will play it short and back up to the top corner of the box. Into the middle now. And they will swing it all the way around, but the Lopes do a good job of reading that and clearing that one out of danger, and they'll have a chance to reset their defense. That one right into the hands of Lauren Garthwaite, and she will get a chance now for the Lopes. She'll calm everybody down, get them up, reset it, and she will set it down and will play it from her feet. Played long and over the top. Looking to get a strong run, as it'll bounce all the way into the hands of Emily Parrott, as no one was quite ready and making a run on that one. As now Larson will put a little bit of pressure on Parrott. Just try and be in her way, as that is not 100% legal. But the referee gonna let that one go. Now the Lopes getting some pressure down that far side. They do a good job of it there, and now the Miners forced to play it out of bounds, and the Lopes will get a throw-in. So we will have a substitution for the Lopes. It'll be Remy Deutsch checking back into the game for the first time this half. That one played right into the middle. Good job from the Lopes to get it in quickly. Now they'll look to get something going. Trying to be strong on the ball that time. And they will get a foul call. Good job from the Lopes. Some protest from the Miners, and this is a very dangerous spot. You could get a shot away here from the Lopes if you're trying to get a direct goal off this kick, or you can try and just chip it up.
And again, these opportunities have come far and few between if you're Coach Leader, so we'll see how they go about this and their strategic plan, trying to tie this ball game up late.
So it looks like Larson, Martinez, and Iranchad are going to stand over the ball, and we'll see which one of them gets to take it. Iranchad in the middle She will shoot it low on the ground right into the wall, and that one pops out to Martinez. It takes a deflection and out of bounds, or not out of bounds, excuse me, cleared away from the Miners, going towards the sideline. Now it is out of bounds. Lopes will retain possession with a free kick. And now a Miner will hit the ground but retain possession as the Lopes now kick it out of bounds. Now the Lopes looking to have a couple minutes of possession here as the Miners just trying to get something going for them, as they haven't been quite able to as of late. And now the Lopes will start their attack again. It'll go out wide. This will be Remy Deutsch, takes a big touch and it gets out of bounds. And Coach Leader telling his defense to push up and apply some pressure and try and keep the Miners pinned back deep. That one headed down, it'll get down, but nobody there for the Lopes. Now there is that is Emma Anderson. Can't quite get there, and now the Miners look to start an attack, but the Lopes have 4 defenders back to the 3 attacking Miners. And good defense from the Lopes as they will regain possession. Out wide for Remy Deutsch. Deutsch that time again unable to keep it in bounds is Remy Deutsch. Just took too wide of a touch. So now the throw in from the Miners will go long and nobody home, right to Hannah Nichols. Larson gets a touch to try and corral it, but cannot. And now a little bit of pressure from the Lopes, but the Miners able to have a little bit of possession now as the Lopes get ready to make a substitution. Looking to go up top again, but headed away again, Hannah Nichols. Nichols trying to make a play, cannot. Tripped up on the play, and now the Lopes will get it out of bounds. And throw in for the Miners.
Well, that's a nice play there by the Lopes defense, able to get that touch. If they don't get that touch, that's a wide open lane there for the Miners.
Absolutely, now they will probably go with a big throw here as they are in a strong attacking position. There is the long throw, but headed out by the Lopes, and a whiff at the clearance, and it is still in the middle of the box area. Now the Lopes able to get it out of harm's way, and now a throw in once again for the Miners. Big throw in from the Miners this time, and now it's headed back twice from the Lopes, right into the middle of the box, and now headed away as the Lopes able to push up just a little bit. So the Miners look to keep pressure on now. That shot will come from distance and go well wide, and Lauren Garthwaite will get a goal kick. Jessica Wong, number 24, and number 4, Rayanne Jones, will both check back in to the game for the Lopes for Martinez and Iran Chad, as Garthwaite will get us back underway. And that's a big kick into the middle of the field and a good header from the Miners, and that's gonna spring an attack. But the Lopes defense is right there. So now a throw in once again from the Miners on the far sideline this time, in a more dangerous position and able to get that big throw right to the corner of the 6-yard box. And now we'll get a foul call on a push, and the Lopes will get to reset it from the back. So Garthwaite gets ready to send this one away as we have played just over 13 minutes, going on 14 here in the second half. Still 1-0 Miners if you're just joining us. And now a header from the Miners, but back, and now that time it'll go forward, but almost right to the Lopes. Couldn't quite get a touch on it. And now the Miners are able to settle things down just a little bit for a second, and we'll get that one played long. And the Lopes defense right there to clear it away and out of bounds for another throw in, and 2 substitutions this time for the Miners. That'll be number 12, Carly Bateman, or I'm sorry, that is the Lopes number 12. She is not in the game. It'll be number 12, Anna Jimerson for the Miners. And number 15, Danielle Carrion back in, also for the Miners.
And we talked about it the entire first half, Kyle. Defense has been the name of this game. It's been the name of the second half through the first 15 minutes as well. And the Lopes is trying to keep this a 1-0 deficit. Still plenty of time left, over 30 minutes left to go to try and even this thing up. But they got to keep this at 1-0 if they want any chance against this Miners defense.
As that time the Lopes now able to get it away as that ball bounced around for a long time at the front of the box. That one will go off of the Lopes, out of bounds. Another throw in for the Miners. Miners will start it in the back on the defense. Lopes applying a little bit of pressure. Larson on the ball now. And a misplay there from Parrott, and now the Lopes will have a chance with Jones if she can run it down and save it. She cannot. Good pressure from Cameron Larson, almost causing a miscue from Parrott, and she has not had many of those. Now a good throw, but it'll get to the Lopes this time. Stays inbounds, and now cleared away, and the Lopes will run it down. So Garthwaite will call off her defender, and we'll send it long, but right to the Miners. That one will go out of bounds off of the Lopes, and the Miners once again will restart us with a throw in here on the near side, near midfield. That one popped up for a 50-50 ball, and it's won by Hannah Edwards. Now the Miners regain it at midfield, and they will start to throw numbers forward. But it will go right to the Lopes defense as they'll play it into space, looking to run it down now. They will not quite get there as the Miners stay with it. And now they'll have to reset, but the Lopes applying pressure once again, and that one goes out of bounds. Lopes throw in on the near side on their defensive half of the field. As Haley Boxford will lose it but win it, and now she's going to get called for a foul. Probably just a little bit of a hold, and now the Miners will get a free kick.
Well, we've seen a lot of those so far here in the second half by the Lopes defense. Miners yet to come away with one of those breaks. We'll see if they get an opportunity here. Doesn't look like it, Kyle.
That'll get out of bounds. Another goal kick for the Lopes and Lauren Garthwaite. And now a substitution for the Miners. And the free kick, or the goal kick rather, excuse me, from Garthwaite will get to the Lopes off a couple deflections, and now they'll look to play it up the sideline, and now on the ball, but a turnover. Now 50-50 ball in the middle of the field that the Miners will get a touch to. As that one had some backspin on it. It took a weird hop. And a good defensive play, but couldn't quite get around on it to keep it in play. And it'll go out of bounds for the Miners, as Lily Marquez checked into the game for the Miners on that last substitution. As the Lopes will make a quick substitution before this throw-in. As Cindy Torres will check in for the Lopes, and now a Lope down on this near sideline. Looks like probably a cramp, just getting stretched out by a teammate before anything else happening. Now the referee's going to make her step off the field before she can come back on. And now it'll be a Lopes throw-in, and that will be taken right here at midfield by Remy Deutsch. And now the referee will call her back on to the field, and now the Lopes back at full strength. And a strong header right into the middle, but right to the Miners. And now that ball unable to get to a Miners player, and now back to the Miners. As the Lopes look to regain possession and apply some pressure, as UTEP will start their next attack. Larson on the ball on the far side. Couldn't quite corral that one, and it will go out of bounds. Another throw in for the Miners. Now the long ball played, couldn't quite get it over top of that Lopes defense, as they are able to reset themselves and play it out wide as it gets out of bounds for a throw, and a quick one taken. Miners looking to start their attack. We are now 20 minutes into the second half. Score remains 1-0 Miners, as the Lopes haven't had a chance yet in this second half. Well, the Miners haven't had a chance as to add on to their lead, but the Lopes really need a chance here to get themselves back in it, and that one will get played into the corner, looking to run it down, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lopes. And now the substitution. Ellie Busick, number 20, will check back into the game for Grand Canyon as they get ready with a throw of their own. Might be looking to go long. They will right to the edge of the box. And that one will play out of bounds. And another throw in, about the same spot now for the Lopes. They'll probably back it up a little bit, give themselves a little bit more room. One bounces around in the middle, taken down, and a penalty kick is called. The Lopes have a chance now to get back on the board. As the referee will get everybody set up. And here's the replay. And as number 4 for the Lopes, Rayanne Jones got taken out from behind. That is a great call, in my opinion, by the referee.
And could turn out to be a blessing in disguise for the Lopes here. Again, as lopsided as this game has been so far, and as frustrating as it's been for the Lopes offense, an opportunity right here to breathe new life and tie this ball game up at 1.
Emma Anderson to take it. She will, and she puts it home. And the Lopes are on the board, and we are tied at 1 apiece.
Well, how about that? Perfectly executed, and just like that, new life here in GCU Soccer Stadium. The Havocs are on their feet, and I mentioned in the pregame, Kyle, don't let the Havocs get on their feet in this one. They get rowdy, and they get rowdy fast.
Absolutely, and you know they're chanting at Parrott behind the goal right now. In the 66th minute, Emma Anderson scores her second goal of the season and will even things up at 1, as now the Miners will take a substitution right before this kickoff. The Miners get us underway. We are tied 1 apiece. And now the Lopes have some new life. So now, worst case scenario, we have to play an extra 20. But the Lopes looking to now take a 2-1 lead and get their first victory over the Miners.
And it all goes back to that foul on Rayanne Jones, giving the Lopes an opportunity there, and Emma Anderson coming up clutch for her squad.
That one will sail well over the crossbar. And a goal kick for Lauren Garthwaite as another substitution for the Miners gets ready to take place right here. So Garthwaite will get us underway once more after that substitution, and now it'll be headed around a little bit, and the Miners will clear it up the field just a little bit, and it'll go out of bounds for a Lopes throw-in.
So it'll be interesting to see if this changes momentum for the Lopes.
Larson able to get it up ahead to Jones, but headed out of bounds, and the Lopes will get another throw-in.
Again, it can only take one thing to spark a team here. Emma Anderson's second goal in her young career with the Lopes. And again, just under 20 minutes left to go in this one. We'll see if the Lopes can capitalize.
That one will be cleared away as the Lopes will look to get it back in the middle of the field. They do, but a foul in the middle of the field by the Lopes, trying to win that one back. So the Miners will get a chance to reset themselves and look to set up an attack and regain the lead. That free kick will go long, looking to get in the box. Cannot. Good defense once more by the Lopes. And looking now to keep pressure on the Miners, as the Lopes will also get ready to make a substitution at the next available dead ball at the referee's discretion. And now the Miners will play it up the sideline. And now an attack coming in the corner, looking to cut into the middle and play the middle, but Edwards is there to clear it away. And now Larson will get a touch to further aid the ball to midfield. And now the reset from the Miners. Now the Lopes have to get it away as pressure from the Miners is coming, and now the Miners regain possession. And a good turn and a played out wide. A chance played back in the middle from the near side corner, and now it'll go out of bounds. Lopes throw in, and we will get our substitutions.
Well, nice look there from Anna Jimerson. Just did not make good contact on that one. We mentioned in that game last year where the Lopes lost 2-1, Anna Jimerson with the other goal scored alongside Lauren Crenshaw in that 2-1 loss last season in El Paso. And again, the Lopes with that one goal by Emma Anderson trying to change momentum in this one. We'll see if Coach Leader's squad here out on the field can strategize a good game plan here offensively to try and give themselves another chance to score.
So now the Miners off the throw and looking to get an attack. Lopes defense standing tall, played back in the middle, and a miscue, but it's over top of the net. And a break from the Lopes that time. So they almost gave the lead back to the Miners, but a goal kick coming as Martinez just checked in for Cameron Larson for the Lopes. And now UTEP substitutions were Kidd for Miller and Noel for Sayas, as they will make one more and the Lopes will make two more. It looks like Coach Leader is going to give his top line a little bit of a rest as Jones checks out, and so does Wong. Iran Shad also checks back in along with Bostard. And now that one played long, looking to get in the middle, but headed away by that Miners defense, who have only had about one fault so far in this game, and that resulted in the Lopes goal.
And you're always going to look back at that foul on Rayanne Jones that set up the penalty kick for Emma Anderson to tie up this game. And again, that is the one mishap by the Miners defense thus far in this one. We'll see if they make any mistakes within the next 15 minutes here or so, as the Lopes again trying to pick up their first win ever against the Miners.
And 2 yellow cards just handed out to the UTEP coaching staff, as the assistant referee put his flag up and told the referee that he's had enough, and that head official came over and dished out not 1 but 2 yellow cards to that coaching staff. And now the Lopes get it back and will look to start a counterattack, but it's played back in, and now the offside flag comes up, and the Lopes will get a free kick. As the Lopes will reset in the back. And now some miscommunication, but a bad touch from the Miners. It'll go out of bounds. The Lopes throw it. Gets it in the middle, but that pass off the mark, and the Miners regain possession as they will look to turn up the field. And good defense once more from the Lopes in the middle. That one played out wide, but nobody home, as Martinez will look to run it down and won't get there in time, as the Miners will pick up another throw-in. And a good turn on that far sideline from the Miners, but they will turn it over, and now the Lopes in the middle of the field will turn it right back over. Couldn't quite squeeze that pass through. And now the Miners will look to start some sort of attack, and a whistle and a foul on the Lopes. And now the free kick will be taken long, looking to get it to the top of the box, but headed away by the Lopes defense. And now looking to start their counterattack. As that one will get all the way back to Parrott, and now pressure from the Lopes again, as Parrott will send it wide, and the Lopes will keep possession. Cutting to the middle now. And there's a foul on the Miners, and now the Lopes looking to add on to this tied 1-1 score. As that is JC Iranshad who will get set to take this free kick. Iranshad takes the kick. It is just over top of the crossbar. And we remain tied at 1 apiece as we enter the 76th minute of play. 14 minutes remain in this 90-minute contest.
Well, just a little too much oomph on that one from Iranshad, trying to give the Lopes the lead.
And Parrott almost misplayed that again, and it goes right back to the Lopes, but the Miners clear it out, but only as far as Haley Bostard gets it back, but turns it right back over. Now we'll win it back again. Haley Bostard working hard, and she will get it out wide for the Lopes. Played into the middle, looking for Martinez. Won't get there, shot deflected, and that one is going to get into the corner, and that one will get out of bounds, the referee says, before a Lopes corner, as substitutions will be made. Cameron Larson checks back in at a perfect time right at the corner, and of course they want that height that she has to be right there in the middle to cause some sort of disruption. As Anderson will take the corner flag out and throw it to the side as she sets up this corner kick. You don't see that very often.
Who needs it?
As Anderson will play it short to the top of the box. Shot away, a little bit wide. Nobody could get a touch to it. And it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick. Played out wide, Lopes applying good pressure again, but it gets past, and now the Miners will look to start an attack. Getting down that far side and bumped off the ball is the Lopes defense, and it'll go out of bounds for a Miners throw in. They get it into the middle. Lopes looking to stand tall here in the final 13. She gets around a couple Lopes defenders, now gets a shot away, and it's wide. And the Miners want a deflection, not gonna get it, as they really tested Lauren Garthwaite there, but she looked to be all over that one.
A great effort there from Lauren Garthwaite. Has looked tremendous in her first home outing here in Lope Country. Bouncing back after that tough outing in Boca Raton.
She will boot that one on a line right to the Miners, but it takes a touch to the Lopes. And now a long ball played, looking for some speed now. Headed down, but not that far. Taken by the Lopes, shot away, and it's deflected wide. What a save from Emily Parrott, as the Lopes almost took a 2-1 lead.
Well, it's a game of inches, Kyle. Perfectly executed by Emily Parrott. That one just misses the goalpost, and again, inches away from taking a 2-1 lead, as you can see on the replay.
And now they're gonna put their tall bodies in front of Parrott on this one, as Anderson will take it this time from the far side. And we'll look to get the Lopes the lead on this corner kick. Anderson plays it in. Nobody home, right to the Miners, but bounced right out to the waiting Lope, who will go right back to Anderson, but she didn't play it as she wasn't quite back on sides. And now a substitution for the Miners. Marquez will check back into the game for UTEP before this throw-in. That is played into the middle, looking for Larson. She couldn't quite get there, and now a good fight in the middle of the field. Lopes win it back. Played out wide. Looking to get it out. They do. It's Hannah Edwards. Edwards looking to put on the moves. She does, and it gets deflected right to the Lopes. Looking to play Larson. Larson will take a shot. It'll go well wide. And a goal kick as we enter the final 10 minutes of play here at the GCU Soccer Stadium, where we are knotted up at 1 apiece between the visiting Miners and the hosting Grand Canyon Lopes. That's the goal kick taken, and it'll be headed into the middle of the field. And the Lopes double team, and now a foul called on Sydney Torres right there at midfield. And the Miners will get another free kick, as that is the 10th team foul for the Lopes. As that ball kicked right into Cameron Larson as she inched forward and deflected it away, and now the Lopes get it back, and it won't quite get back to Larson. Here come the Miners now. They get it through. Shots away. Garthwaite is there. Again, no. Now it'll get in the back of the net, as Garthwaite couldn't quite make the second save. Going right into that goal post. And she is slow to get up.
Yeah, tough break there from Lauren Garthwaite. And you couldn't say it was for a lack of effort. Great effort shown by the young freshman, as you can see on the replay here. Unable to get back up in time as that ball just trickles into the net, and it's a 2-1 Miners lead with just 9 minutes left to go in this one.
Both teams make substitutions as Garthwaite does get up. She's going to stay in the game, trying to tough it out. Looks like she's holding her knee. Might have ran into that post trying to make that secondary save. So the Lopes 9 minutes to tie it up. Miners take a 2-1 lead in the 81st minute. As Larson takes that one off the face, but the Lopes will keep possession. And a big foul coming, but no card. And now the referee will have to back Crenshaw up. As Rayanne Jones gets ready to check into the game. As an injured Lope will come off, and Jones will check in now as the referee will set the wall with the foam spray. Iran Shad will take this one. She will play it to that far post. It gets a touch and it goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick, and the Lopes are unhappy. They want a corner. Here's the replay, and it does look like it went off the arm of the Lopes attack. So a good call from the referee as Lopes look to win it back here. They do. Keeps possession on that time, and that one will go right in the hands of Parrott. And now Parrott's gonna take her time playing this one, and it looks like she's gonna punt it right to midfield, and it gets by a Lope defender, and now the Miners look to tack on. But good defense once again from guess who? Hannah Edwards.
Well, we mentioned throughout the entire game that Hannah Edwards is the veteran of that defensive staff, a bunch of new freshmen that she's been able to mentor over these past 3 games, and you've seen it tonight.
So that throw-in will go just a little bit long, and now a goal kick for the Lopes. So Garthwaite will send that one deep. Lopes look to gain possession as we enter the last 6.5 minutes. Long throw in from the Lopes. Miners able to poke it away and get back on the attack, and they will just play it into the corner. Garthwaite's gonna let it roll. Out of bounds, goal kick. Garthwaite will send it deep into the final 6 minutes of play. Lopes down 2-1, looking to equalize here at the home opener and send us into overtime. That one will get off of a Miner defender. That is Lauren Crenshaw. And now a Lopes throw. Big throw in, but right to the Miners, and now trickles back out top, and a misplayed touch. And Lopes looking to win it back, but cannot. That's a good job from the Miners, but that time a good step up from the Lopes defense as they're playing high up the field. And we're gonna play on, no foul from the referee as the Miners keep the ball, and now the Lopes get it back. This is Busick, gonna go wide. Larson in the middle. Larson with 3 Miners defenders around her. She will lose possession, but they will get it right back. Edwards, too big of a touch. but right back to her. And now in the middle of the field again. Long shot deflected away, and Parrott's going to scoop that one up so it doesn't go out of bounds for a goal kick. And now Parrott's going to reset everybody, push them high up the field, and probably send this one long to waste a little bit more time as we get ready to enter the final 4.
Again, just under 4.5 minutes left of play with the Miners up by 1, just trying to kill time here as the Lopes, one last ditch effort there. The Miners doing a tremendous job all night long at keeping this Lopes offense at bay.
And now playing with it in the corner, looking to waste some time. Double team coming, played out of bounds, Miners throw in. And the Lopes getting ready to make a substitution at the next point they can. Look for maybe a couple more minor substitutions just to waste a little bit more time here as the clock keeps ticking as we enter the final 3.5 minutes of play. And now another throw in for the Miners as the Lopes cleared that one out of play. Gonna go not as big as they normally do, and now the Lopes trying to get it back, and they're able to clear it out into the middle of the field, but it is taken away by the Miners. And the Miners looking to play that out wide, but she would have been offside, so now the Lopes will get the throw in and the substitution. Now the Miners will get it back, and a foul going to be called on the Lopes. As Torres just checked back into the game for Iron Chad. As the referee will stop the clock, as he knows exactly what the Miners are trying to do. So they're going to throw it into the corner as it takes a big bounce over top of both players, but corralled and taken into the corner. Double team, Lopes win it out. They have a chance now on an attack and a foul, and a card coming as a big hit was taken, and an injured Lope is down on the field. So that was Hannah Edwards that took the big hit. And the card out of the referee's pocket for the 4th yellow card of the game. All have gone to the Miners. So now with just over 3 minutes, or just over 2 minutes rather, left to play. The Lopes with the ball and a chance to tie, as the foul went to Gongo, and so did the yellow card. Lopes will go quick. It's headed into the middle of the field, and now Larson able to keep it up, but right to the Miners as that one goes out of bounds, and now Larson will take a quick throw in. Gets into the corner, but played right into the Miners defense, and now Gongo whiffed at it, unable to clear. Lopes have another chance to keep it down, and it's cleared away. 1:40 left to play in this one. It's a good touch, looking to run onto it and cannot. Is Andrea Martinez unable to do so, as that was another chance for the Lopes. Lopes have it in the middle of the field. They're going to play long. Looking for Larson now. Larson got a touch. Into the middle, and it's just kicked wide, looking to go short side. Out of bounds goal kick. 1 minute to play. As that was a great ball from Cameron Larson. Unable to get a shot away as they tried to go short side.
Well, it's now or never if you're the Lopes. Cameron Larson almost coming away with her 2nd goal of the season in just 3 games, inches away. The Lopes unable to come up with the big play so far in this one, despite Emma Anderson's game-tying goal earlier on.
Offside flag is up, and that one booted away, and now the referee going to stop the clock, as he should. And he should give out another yellow card there. Will not. So the Lopes will get a free kick with 27 seconds remaining. So one final chance coming for the Lopes. Garthwaite will send it away. They have all 11 players on the same side of the field. Popped up in the air. Lopes able to corral. Shot away, but deflected, and now a big clearance, but only as far as a Lopes defender. Over the head. We are into the final 10 seconds. Lopes have to go fast. They are going to get a throw. 5 seconds remaining. Out of bounds. And that is how this one is going to end as the clock hits 90. It will be a 2-1 defeat on the opening night here for the Grand Canyon Lopes at home. 2-1 is the score. University of Texas El Paso Miners are going to take the win after the Lopes able to tie it up in the 67th minute on a penalty kick from Emma Anderson.
Well, it all goes back to that penalty on Rayanne Jones that set up the penalty kick for Emma Anderson, her second goal of her career in just 3 games. And we mentioned it before, the Lopes still unable to defeat the Miners, 0-4 lifetime as they move to 1-2 on this young season after winning the first game in Stetson. And you want to talk about great defense on both sides. The Miners obviously coming away with the win because of their great defense. Lauren Garthwaite with a tremendous performance in her first game here in Lopes country here tonight. Did give up those 2 goals in a 2-1 defeat, but the defense was the name of the game throughout this one.
Absolutely, and then the Miners able to regain the lead with 9 minutes to play in the 81st minute, and the Lopes with a couple of chances there at the end. One from Larson, one from Martinez, unable to capitalize, and they are going to take their second loss of the year. And now we'll go to our GCU Golf Course Player of the Game, and we're going to give it to Hannah Edwards.
Hannah Edwards, you mentioned it, Kyle, throughout the game. The veteran of this defense had a tremendous performance here today. She showed the young freshmen, mentoring them, a great performance despite the 2-1 loss.
She is definitely going to be an anchor for that defense in front of Garthwaite all season long. And we want to thank you for tuning in. Men's soccer is going to take the field for the first time in their season tomorrow as they host the Northern Kentucky Norse at 7 p.m. right here on GCU TV. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. For the entire GCU TV crew and Jack O'Hara, I'm Kyle Borg saying thank you for tuning in. Have a great night and go Lopes.